Hello, my little weirdos. My goodness, isn't it nice to be able to do a video in the evening and not worrying about not being able to see? Very much so. It's still kind of a little unusual for me because I'm so used to having that the camera's a ring on like full light and not being able to see as well and being washed out. And I'm obviously it's like a sepia kind of filtery look on the back, but it's a 200% improvement. So anyway, just a couple little topics. Well, they're not little topics, but um, I want to just say a few points about the mass deportation and and how that by itself and also with the tariff thing, how that would what that would happen if he can even get it through. My wondering now is he's seeing the horrible backlash even from the Republicans when he's revealed that the Project 2025 really is the Democrats. We weren't lying all that time, that we were telling the truth and he was lying to them. And he's realized that a lot of the Republicans that even voted for him are not happy with this. And he's also finding out, and everybody else is finding out what we have been telling you guys all along, what would happen. Plus the way Mexico's and Canada's leaders responded to him. The dude's 6 weeks from being in office. He's not even in office. And, so a few of the things with the deportation is, as you've heard, a lot of the produce pickers, people that pick the trees and the crops on the ground, the land crops, most of them are immigrants or black folks sometimes, and other poor people, but majority is immigrants because white American people apparently are not capable of that hard labor on a consistent basis, day after day, after week, after month, after year. And a lot of the softies don't want to acknowledge that. So we already know that. So if we don't have anybody picking our own crops, being able to grow our own crops because they can't get picked, they'll just get ruined in the fields and the orchards, then you think, well, we'll just import them all. A percentage, 22% of our food Americans import, or products of our food. To what, like product, like there's things that are made or manufactured, processed and stuff. There's some in America, but even like manufacturing, they might be making something that is not grown. So even if they're not necessarily a produce seller, if what their product is, even if it's a canned product or something, but it comes from fields and orchards, they're not going to be able to get it cheaply. And so that product, even if it's not a fresh fruit type of fresh, produce item, it's still not going to be able to be, even if we grew it here, we wouldn't have the people if you mass deport them. But you know what else that would be fucking up? Did you know that most of these slaughterhouse and meat packing workers are immigrants, the majority, followed by poor folks in general. And so if, let's just say, he does the tariffs, despite what everybody says. Let's just pretend that he gets it through. And let's just pretend he gets started with the deportation and whatever, resistance he manages to get around. Or his team, because he's not smart enough to do it himself. So let's just assume, let's just pretend that he's just going to steamroll everybody and get it done without being able to be stopped. So we won't be able to import any produce or meat because the tariffs, it'll cost too much. We won't be able to feed ourselves because not only would the produce not be available, the meat products of any type, butchered things, would not be being done. Those places would close. Because it's been proven. White people, Americans, will not fucking take those. Not enough of them. Yes, some of us would. I mean, if we needed the damn job. But what's going to happen when they send all those people away? So the meat slaughterhouses and meat packing, meat processing factories have to close because they have nobody to do the work. And then we can't feed the animals anyway because we can't afford to import everything, and there's nobody to process the produce or the orchard things. So how the hell do you expect the economy and the country to function? You didn't think about that because the rest of us did. Another thing I want to mention is on the deportation. And I had a disagreement with somebody on a video we were watching. It wasn't mine. And I made the comment, he's talking about up to second generation, even if they're, like second generation, if they have one or both parents were not born in America, even if they legally became a citizen, and then the child was born in America, they're going to send them back, even if you're either born in America or legally got your citizenship. So if that's the fact, and somebody argued because I had said what I'm going to tell you in a minute, and he said, no, that doesn't matter because the father is Donald, and because I won't use that name, the father is the natural citizen. And I said, no, read it. It says even if one parent was not born in the country, you would be considered a second generation. Only one parent has to be, because part of you is them. So that means not only is Barron included in second generation, because guess what? Barron was born in, I don't have it written down there. He was born in like a March, whatever year it was. And Melania didn't get her citizenship till July, 4 months after he was born. So he was born to a mother that was not a U.S. citizen, and she would be included in the deportation anyway because she wasn't born in America herself, which means her son, Barron, has to go. And the wife that gave him his first 3 children, Ivana, she was not a citizen until Don Jr., Ivanka, and Eric Jr. had all been born before she got her citizenship, which means all of them are also considered in the category that he's making for everyone else. And I know J.D. Vance's wife, I don't know if she was born in the country or not, but I don't think she was. And if she wasn't, even if she has her citizenship, she and his children would be considered in that roundup legally, legitimately, by what they're holding. If they were doing that and they held everybody else to those rules that I said they said were their intent, all of those, Don Jr., Eric, Ivanka, Barron, all of them, they're second generation to one parent that was not a citizen when they were born. And the reason Melania even had a child, because face it, she's self-involved and narcissistic. The only reason she had a child was because of that law as an anchor baby. If you have a child born in America, you cannot be thrown out because then you're separating them. The child's a legal citizen. She was his anchor. He was her anchor baby, making use of those rules. And now he wants to change it. So if he changes it, remember, if he is actually able to get these things done, the deportations, and the rules that he said and the rules that I'm reciting to you that they had written out as the plan, and they enforce that as I described, they said, to everybody else, but not those four, and maybe Vance's, you'll know that I already told you he would make some sort of waiver exception because I guess they're family related to the Tsar of America, I guess. So keep that in mind. Just another little bonus with the mass deportation, because he will skew it if he is successful in doing it. He absolutely will skew it so they don't have to be left gone. Also, Elon Musk came here illegally. His daddy, he's no genius. He just hires geniuses that know about a project he's imagined. They're the ones that make it work. The ones who make it work are the genius. He's just the innovator. He's not the genius who made the actual working thing. His daddy got rich in Africa on the backs of, was it an emerald or a diamond mine? I think it was an emerald or something like that mine, by paying atrocious wages to the African people and ripping them off. Elon came to America under a student visa. A student visa explicitly states that first you must attend and successfully complete classes with a passing grade. And two, you are not allowed to start a business because you're not a citizen. As soon as he got here, he promptly started a business with his friend in whatever the hell it was, some little garage or bathtub or whatever the hell it was, and didn't ever go to school or turn assignments in. He should have had his ass deported then. Poof, you're gone. Then it was like, well, I have a business here. It's like Melania getting here. She got here illegally, just so you are aware of that. She was gotten in on what's called an Einstein visa. And if you're asking what an Einstein visa is, If you're thinking of Einstein, that's what it is. It's for somebody who is is a nationally or is an internationally known in their field, who's exceptionally gifted, and would be an asset to the country. She used the modeling. She wasn't an international technically, but only overseas in Europe. Ain't nobody heard of her here. Only European countries. So that's technically more than your nation, your country. So international is between in other countries, but like I said, it's on the same landmass. So she obviously wasn't an incredible, fabulous A-list, critically acclaimed, known all across the planet kind of person. So I'm sure a little greasing, and she got in on an Einstein visa. And by the way, you do know that he cheated on his first wife with the person who became his second wife, Marla, and then he cheated on her with Melania. Just so you know. And he met her in a Kit Kat club by basically a mail order bride guy. They fell in love at the Kit Kat club. She was this guy basically took women from overseas that were mildly known to bring them over, not even mildly known, to bring them over and meet to get rich American husbands by their sex appeal. I mean, basically, was what they had to offer. I look good on your arm. The woman has lived in America longer than she's lived in her native country, and she still can't speak English correctly. And she doesn't care to try. She doesn't speak it correctly. She's not understandable in a lot of times. And she doesn't fucking care to try. This is what we have as the next First Lady. But back to Elon. They should have tossed his ass when they found out he wasn't going to classes and he had already started a business in the country that he was explicitly instructed he was not allowed to do. His daddy's money, and I'm sure also like Melania's genius visa, I'm sure from Elon's daddy, fixed that whole issue. So I'm just curious, what did you guys not know about what I just told you? Just really curious, because this isn't, I've said, not only have I made graphics, but I've done videos this past year about him saying the same things. Also mentioned about Melania's visa. I've also discussed and written about all three of her children being born when she wasn't a legal citizen. So we said, well, their father is, so then they're illegal, then they're married. Not under the rules, not under what he's saying. If he does what he's saying, no. They aren't exempt. Legitimately, they're not exempt. Did you know all that? Did you know that about Elon? And did you know that most of the meat processing slaughterhouses are run by immigrants? You got produce processing places going to shut down. There isn't anybody going to be there to pick the crap or to slaughter the animals and process it. And if he gets the tariffs through, we ain't going to be able to import everything So, WTF you're gonna do? So for all of you that were all jubilant and laughing, oh, I hope you're happy now. I hope you're happy with you got exactly what you screamed you wanted. Oh, I must have hit it better. Oh, I see what happened. Yeah, I misaligned it. My bad. Now it's gonna take a minute to adjust. Oh, sorry, guys. Come on, camera. Hang on. Okay. Got how to focus it. One last thing to let you know. I just found this out half hour ago. Apparently, Nancy Pelosi has been in Luxembourg for like an official duty, official meeting tour type thing. And apparently in the palace in the marble staircase, she like tripped and fell. I guess fell hard. She's in a Luxembourg hospital, and the best I can gather at the moment is that she's broken her hip, fractured her hip, and that she's going to need surgery. But I'm not sure if they're going to stabilize it somehow, immobilize it, and bring her back to the States to have the surgery, if it's just going to be done there. I don't know. But yeah, go away from social media for half a day and come back. I'm like, what the hell? But yes, so that's the most I know, and that kind of sucks because her husband Paul was attacked a year or so, whatever, from MAGA revengers, and nearly killed Paul. So, and he's old. She's like 84. He's old, So I'm sure they have somebody taking care and helping him out while she's gone. But man, that sucks, dudes. That's seriously. But anywho, y'all have a good night. Sorry about my camera going weird ass. I still have to work the kinks out and figure the temperament of this camera, so I'm working on it. Anyway, I'm curious on your comments, if you guys knew some of this stuff, or if you know more about some of the stuff that I didn't mention, because I've checked and read a lot about the deportation thing with the children and stuff, and that is exactly how it lays it out. If the way he lays it out, who he wants to deport, if even just one of the parents is currently illegal, is currently like not born in America, even if you have your citizenship, you're gone, and so is any kids. That's what second generation deportation means. Anybody that has at least one parent that was not born in America needs to go back. And you're going to say, go back? I was born in America. They're legal now. He doesn't care. That's the point. Go back to a country that you personally have never lived in. But just take heart that he's fucking his own children over by doing that. And if he does it, and probably would waive them, just want you all to know. So if it happens, they can't say, oh, they're just saying that now. That's not true. They never said that before. I'm on record. I'm saying it before. So, peace out. Have a good evening. Unless there's a breaking news about the drones been around here, or some of them van-sized. Who the fuck has a hobby with a van-sized drone? Or some news-breaking phenomenon occurring. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Peace out.